If you're someone who's on that last-minute grind to hit your desired rank before Season 13 ends, then we've got you covered. In today's video, we'll be breaking down 10 champions, 2 for each role, that are insanely easy to pick up but hold incredible strength at the same time, making them the best possible champions for instant rank gains. But before we get into it, be sure to check out SkillCapped if you want to truly get better at League of Legends. We're the only service that offers a money-back guarantee if you don't climb at least 5 divisions while actively using our service. We do this because our service really does work, and if it doesn't work for you, you shouldn't pay. Learn more at the end of this video or click the link in the description below. Our first top lane pick requires very minimal mechanical skill, but his current power in meta is extremely high, being Trundle. Just buffed in 13.23, Trundle is shot up in priority as one of the best top lane picks. What makes Trundle such an attractive pick for instant rank gains is that his game plan is going to be the same for most games, but is insanely effective. Drawing pressure in the side lane is the name of the game with Trundle. Trundle's split push power is like no other, as he melts towers with the bonus damage from his Q, Trinity Force, and Demolish Rune. That's not all though, as once you're able to complete Hullbreaker, you not only destroy towers, but very few champs can touch you in the 1v1. It's also extremely easy for Trundle to escape if he's being collapsed on due to his W, E, and by running Ghost. You're able to slow the enemy with E while gaining a ton of movement speed from W and Ghost, so that it's nearly impossible for the enemy team to punish your split unless they keep multiple members in your lane. Core build you want on Trundle is a Trinity Force Rush into Ravenous Hydra 2nd and Hullbreaker 3rd. If you're really stomping early on and just want to smash the enemy in the 1v1, then you can pick up Hullbreaker before Ravenous. The optimal rune page consists of Lethal Tempo, Triumph, Alacrity, and Last Stand, followed by Demolish and Bone Plating for secondaries. Second to Trundle, and another really great scaling split push top laner, is Nasus. We like Trundle a little better right now just because his early game kill threat is higher than Nasus, but if you would rather play the scaling game, Nasus is superior. Your current rank can also influence which champ you choose, as Nasus is more effective from Bronze to Plat, while Trundle is better suited in Diamond and above. Nasus is a really great champion for instant elo because the way in which you approach each game is very similar. The hardest part about Nasus is knowing when it's worth it to walk up for a Q stack and when it's better to sit back and just soak the XP. In the lower ranks though, players are much less likely to punish Nasus's weaker early game, so you can get away with stacking Q much more consistently early on. Level 6 is where you can annihilate the enemy in the 1v1 if you catch them sleeping. Nasus's Q drops to a super short cooldown when his R is active, so if the enemy disrespects you by using all of their spells to clear out a wave, instant pop Ghost and look to all in them. Oftentimes players will become super comfortable against Nasus pre-6 because his kill threat is not that great, but then they'll continue to play like this post-6, so you can really look to punish that. Build for the big dog is a Divine Sunder Rush into Hullbreaker 2nd and Frozen Heart 3rd. Fleet Footwork is the Keystone Rune with Triumph, Tenacity, and Last Stand. Roll with Second Wind and Unflinching for secondaries. A new jungler who has made his way into meta over the past few patches and who's a phenomenal option for some quick elo is Brand. What makes Brand so strong right now is his ability to motor through a full clear faster than most junglers. Before you take Brand into ranked, go into practice tool and go through the full clear a few times until you can get it done in around 3 minutes. If you can get that 3-minute clear down, that alone opens up so many windows of opportunity for yourself right from the jump. Brand's percent health damage is another factor as to why he can bring you easy rank gains. You can look to stack towards a Dragon Soul very early on, and taking a 20-minute Baron is always an option with Brand. If you have a tank top lane champ on your team, telling them to duo Baron with you at 20 minutes is a legitimate win condition, especially in the lower ranks where players are less likely to expect it. If you have a control ward, use your sweeper around Baron to make sure the enemy has no vision, and then you notice that the enemy team is just sitting mid, or even better, all of them are bot lane, don't be afraid to sneak that Baron. Brand is also a champion who can be very effective with just 2 core items, being Liandry's and Rylai's. So even if you fall behind early or your team doesn't have the best start, all it takes is that one team fight where you get a multi-man ult and deal a mass amount of AoE damage to completely shift the momentum in your favor. The best rune page for Brand is Dark Harvest with Cheap Shot, Eyeball Collection, and Relentless Hunter. Grab Free Boots and Cosmic Insight for secondaries. One of the few downsides to Brand is that his early ganks are not the most reliable, so if you want an easy jungler with incredible gank power, Rammus is a no-brainer pickup. Everyone's sleeping on Rammus right now since his 13.23 buffs, as he's seen a massive spike in win rate. The best part about Rammus is that you don't need a lick of mechanical skill to play the champ, but his ability to pull off successful ganks is in the top percentile for all junglers. This becomes especially amplified if you run Ghost instead of Flash for your primary summoner spell. A Rammus charging in with Q and Ghost provides the enemy with little to no counterplay. Shallow wards work against a lot of junglers, but Rammus is an exception, so the enemy will think they are safe by placing a ward in the river brush, but then you just zoom right on by and pick up easy kills. A 3 camp into gank clear can work really well for Rammus if you notice that one of your lanes has really good gank setup. Say for example you're you're playing with a Nautilus support and a Lucian ADC. There's a ton of follow-up CC and damage from that combo, which makes prioritizing ganks towards their lane very worthwhile. That's really the biggest thing you need to focus on when picking Rammus. Decipher which lane will give you the best gank setup and look to heavily prioritize them. The standard core build for Rammus is a Thornmail Rush into Jockshow 2nd and Sunfire Aegis 3rd. Aftershock is the best Keystone rune with Font of Life, Conditioning, and Unflinching. Grab Triumph and Alacrity for secondaries. Just buffed here in 13.24, and a really reliable mid lane carry that will only take you a handful of games to learn is Galio. It really takes no skill at all to shove out waves with Galio Q and be constantly looking for roam opportunities. The threat of a Galio R post 6 provides your team with an inherent advantage regardless of if you use the spell or not. The enemy team has to respect your ability to join a fight in an instant, and if they don't, it's easy pickings for you to turn the fight in your team's favor. The threat of a Galio flash taunt gives the champion lots of consistent power regardless of how far ahead or behind you are. When you're ahead, closing out games by looking for flash taunt plays from the Fog of War is very effective. Vice versa, if you're behind, catching the enemy team when they're split up with your flash taunt can get you right back in the game. Even if you're not the most proficient on Galio, there are still ways for you to heavily impact games on the champion, which makes him great if you're looking for quick elo. Standard core build for Galio is an Everfrost Rush into Zanya's 2nd and Demonic Embrace 3rd. Aftershock is the Keystone rune with Shield Bash, Second Wind, and Overgrowth. Run Nimbus Cloak and Transcendence for secondaries. Another mid lane champ who's stupidly easy but provides an immense amount of carry strength is Swain. Swain has actually held one of the highest win rates for any mid lane champion over the past few patches, but his play rate remains low just due to his more boring playstyle. Now, if you really want to climb fast, Swain is a great mid lane pickup because it takes no skill to be consistently impactful with him. The teamfight presence of Swain is incredible as he's able to soak a lot of damage and be a great front line while draining the enemy's health bars with consistent DPS at the same time. Definitely look to run Flash with Ghost on Swain, as the Ghost coupled with the slow you'll be getting from Rylai's allows Swain to stick onto his targets while staying very mobile. The big 3-item core you'll be playing for consists of Liandry's, Rylai's, and Zanya's. You can interchange the order in which you purchase Rylai's and Zanya's depending on the game. Rune Page is Airy with Mana Flow, Transcendence, and Scorch, followed by Conditioning and Overgrowth for secondaries. This video is all about champions that can help you acquire that quick and easy elo, and to be quite frank, traditional ADCs just aren't going to get the job done in that regard. Our first bot lane carry who you should consider spamming for instant rank gains is Seraphine. The issue with traditional ADCs is that they are often more reliant on their support and struggle to be relevant when playing from behind. Seraphine, on the other hand, doesn't run into either of those issues, as she doesn't need to get ahead in lane to be useful and can still be very impactful when playing from behind. You've got a great mix of utility and damage when playing carry Seraphine, whereas traditional ADCs solely rely on their damage, which makes them much more feast or famine. This means the skill required to pick up a traditional ADC and hard carry games is going to be much higher, which is not what we're looking for if we want to rank up the fastest. For the setup you should be running on Seraphine, make sure you're taking Flash with Teleport for summoner spells. First few levels with Seraphine can be a bit of a struggle, so by running Teleport, it allows you to more freely run through your mana pool to collect CS and not have to worry about going out of mana. Standard core build is Liandry's Rush into Archangel's 2nd and Rylai's 3rd. If your team has enough damage, then you can opt for a more utility-based supportive setup with Staff of Flowing Water and Cosmic Drive. The rune page consists of Airy with Mana Flow, Transcendence, and Gathering Storm. Run Presence of Mind and Coup de Grace for secondaries. Our second bot lane carry, who you can pick up right away and start seeing near immediate impact with, is Ziggs. There's a very simple but effective game plan that you can look to execute on with Ziggs bot that can have you coming out of lane with an advantage almost every single time. By running the teleport for your secondary summoner spell, you're able to purchase Lost Chapter as soon as you have enough gold. If you're able to poke the enemy out a little bit during the first few levels, then teleport back to lane with full health and an item advantage, you can begin shoving the enemy under tower very easily. They'll either be forced to sit under tower while you chip away at tower plates, or they'll have to base and end up losing minions as you hard shove waves in. Regardless, it's a win-win outcome for Ziggs, and if you can abuse the teleport strategy to its fullest potential, the agency you'll have over games is great. No other traditional ADC in the game can single-handedly win lane by executing on a strategy like this, which makes Ziggs the perfect bot lane champ if you want to climb fast. Build for Ziggs revolves around a Liandry's Rush into Archangel's 2nd and Rabadon's 3rd. Roll with Comet for the Keystone rune with Mana Flow, Transcendence, and Scorch. Optimal secondaries are Free Boots and Biscuits. When it comes down to carrying from the support role, your best bet if you want to climb the fastest is going to be with a mage support. Zyra has been the premier mage in the support role for a while now and is our first recommendation. Relying on your ADC to carry games is just not going to cut it over a small sample size. You're going to have to take matters into your own hands to climb fast, and Zyra enables that. Level 6 is where you really want to be aggressive, looking for potential all-in plays. Sitting in the side lane brush and trying to catch the enemy out with E should be your main objective. All it takes is for that one E to hit. You follow with your full combo and either pick up a kill or chunk the enemy super low, which will give you pressure in lane. In the mid game, really key in on your objective control. Always trying to be on the side of the the map to where the next objective is spawning, so you can get as many seeds down as possible is really important with Zyra. If Dragon is coming up, you don't want to get there 10 seconds before it spawns, because trying to face check with a squishy support like Zyra is just suicide. You need to be thinking 2 steps ahead of the enemy. Get your vision down well over a minute before the objective is spawning, and look for catch plays when the enemy team tries to walk in late. The standard build you need to be running on Zyra consists of Liandry's Rush into Rylai's second and Zanya's or Demonic Embrace third. Comet is the superior Keystone rune with Mana Flow, Transcendence, and Scorch. Grab Taste of Blood and Relentless Hunter for secondaries. Now, if you don't want to play a mage support and would rather a hard engaged champ, there's nobody easier and more powerful than Maokai. The threat of a flash W from Maokai is one of the most lethal tools in the entire game. It makes his gank assist absurdly broken while being completely foolproof to execute on. Maokai W is a point-and-click spell, so there's literally no way you can mess up the engage. It also makes Maokai's ability to roam and impact other lanes absolutely top tier. Once you pick up your boots of swiftness, you get around the map super quick and should always be looking for potential roam plays mid when coming off a reset. Even if you don't end up getting ahead in lane with Maokai, you have the ability to pivot, leave your ADC, and begin roaming to help out your top or mid. Especially once Maokai hits level 6, the skirmish power is nuts because of his chain CC lockdown potential. R into W and Q will have the enemy locked down for a very long duration, which makes capitalizing on catch plays insanely easy. If you're looking to pick up Maokai support, our challenger coach KaiBet has just uploaded a new full game commentary to our website to help you guys out. The build for Maokai support consists of a Deadman's Plate Rush into Radiant Virtue second and Thornmail third. Aftershock is the best Keystone rune with Font of Life, Bone Plating, and Unflinching. Pick up Biscuits and Cosmic Insight for secondaries. Alright guys, before we wrap this up, let's tell you a little more about SkillCapped. So, we offer a 5-division rank up guarantee, and think that's a pretty crazy thing to offer. It's like a gym membership guaranteeing you'll get ripped. Your local gym would go bust if they offered that, right? Not us. We've offered this for years because our service really does work. It works so well, in fact, that we're able to produce by far the largest catalog of premium league guides on the internet. We add over 20 videos a week, with over 1,600 guides curated into over 100 courses no one can compare. We've also sent challenger players into ELO Hell 714 times and counting, where they commentate how to carry live. They also respond to all questions asked. Sign up today for as little as $6.99 a month if you are serious about improving. So there you have it guys, 10 champions that are insanely easy if you're on that final end of season ranked grind. Thanks so much for watching, good luck in solo queue, and we'll see you back soon.